morning, viewers. A little garden update. We're going to plant sweet potato slips in tubs so that I can take advantage of all this nice hot Missouri sun and see if I can get a good yield on sweet potatoes this year. So we're going to start by getting everything ready, the tubs, and follow me. I was going to have my barrels for sweet potatoes on this pallet over in this corner, but it's almost 11 o'clock and it's still in the shade. And sweet potatoes really need the heat to do their thing. So we've moved out to what was rototill. Obviously needs more work, but anyway. So I'm going to make up my dirt medium as close to what Hollis and Nancy do. I've been following a lot of their gardening, and he takes a bag of topsoil, and I've got garden soil plus some fertilizer left from our wicking projects. I want to use it up. So I'm going to take a bag of that, pour it in the wheelbarrow. I'm going to put in a bag of this black cow manure.
Turn around. Turn it around.
Turn it around?
Yeah, there you go.
Black cow manure, mix it all together. Hollis puts in perlite, a bag of that. I don't have that, but I know there's perlite in this pre-garden soil mix. And then he puts in a bag of bone meal, mixes it all together, and then he's ready to fill up his planters. I'm using some plastic barrels we did gardening with last year. This is approximately 45 gallons because the top with it on was a 55 gallon. I'm using the tops for other things, but I'm going to plant my sweet potatoes in 2 of these. So here's this one. I'm going to do the dirt mix and then we'll come back, but I wanted to show you my slips as the other part of this process. I have not tried to grow my own slips based on what on Hollis's videos. I might do that next year, but I bought these at our local MFA Ag, which I've done for years, and I think there's about 25 slips in here, and I'm going to plant 8 groupings in my barrels. So I'm going to have 4 and 4 and see how they do. His are pretty big and beautiful, blah blah blah, and I think if I put 3 or 4 of these together, I'll have a better harvest yield than I did last year. And I've learned a few things since last year, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So right now I'm going to mix up my dirt, and when we come back we'll be filling up the barrels.
Okay.
All right, we have our dirt mix in the pots, and we did pretty good for 2 pots. And the way they're sitting in the sun, and it's getting between 11 and 12, I know from 12 to 8 usually is when the sun starts going down, that these guys are going to get 6 or 7 hours of sun. They'll get extra, and they're going to get the heat. So we went through and divvied up our starts, and we've got about 5 to 6 in each group, and we've got 3 groups for each tub. So I'm going to stick my hand, I kind of have them put where they need to go. And I'm going to put my hand down. I have to stick my hand way down here and pull these apart to make the hole. And then I'm going to put, and I've actually got a feel for a tablespoon or so of blood meal that will help the roots, because these guys have been in water. When they got transported, they were in water. I brought them home. I put them in a jar with water, so they need a little little vitamins to go in the dirt. And I'm going to plant them down pretty deep, almost up to the leaves. There's one. Again, my hand's going down for me to get a good depth for all these roots. I have to put my whole hand in there, which is fine because the dirt's kind of cool. And then this would be the third one for here. All of this, I did some container gardening last year, but I just hit and missed. I didn't really watch anybody's specific videos. And this year we're doing wicking tubs, which we got inspired by Daniel Arms of Arms Homestead and Gardening with Leon, who was the originator to us of the tubs. My straw bales I've been doing for a couple of years, and I got that from a friend when I was working down in Goodman, and they work pretty good. And I've been following Joe Carstan's book on that, and then this year watching a sewing video, quilting video Patty Mack makes. She mentioned something about growing potatoes in tubs. Now I did that last year, but it wasn't it was a horrible harvest, let's put it that way. Just to be honest, it was horrible. So that's how I got hooked into Hollis and Nancy, their homestead videos. I've learned a lot, and I'm using that for my potatoes for sure. And I've got strawberries in buckets, so I'm going to get my sprayer, soak these guys down. Depending on how dry it looks when I come out tonight to water, I may do it again, but set these down, get my sprayer. I'm just going to give them a good soaking. I kind of like the wicking tub because you can tell how much water you got going in there. You can see it come out. This has got a ways to go down to the bottom, but sweet potatoes are a deep rooting system, so they need a tub depth. So we'll just soak them really good. And that's about it for sweet potatoes in a tub. We'll take you along to show you the progress. I think they still have the same stages that regular potatoes, so we're going to be looking for a lot of foliage and then flowers. That's like stage 4, and then after the flowers they all die off and it harvests. I need to I didn't tell you this in the beginning. My species of sweet potatoes is Beauregard, and I believe their growth and maturation rate is like 80 to 120 days. So these guys will be ready to harvest just before our first frost in October, which is cutting it close, but I think we'll be okay. And the regular potatoes, they'll be ready to harvest towards the end of September. So I think I'm doing good on all of that. I have some flowers on my squash in this first row, and the second row of bales is actually good. So everything's progressing. I think we're going to have a good year. As always, please subscribe. You know it's free, and you know Jerry's motto, if it's free, it's for you. Our subscriber rate is going up, but we always want more people to share with. If you like us, do a thumbs up. You can share this video with your friends and family, that would be great. And hit the notification button to catch our next video. Thank you. See you on the next one.